hello, other people. Like she really, truly is. And she's been in the coaching world far longer than I have. And as I said, I was new reaching out to her. She didn't know me from Adam, or I should say, she didn't know me from Eve, but she said yes to me, someone, a complete stranger online. And we started forming this friendship. It blossomed over many months. She's a true friend, a really amazing person. I am going to send Angie the link and have her join us because I'm really super excited for you to get to know her. As I said, she's she's amazing. I'm really, really glad that I got to meet her. I'm just waiting for her to hop on and, just so you can hear straight from the source, who she is and why I love her so much. Just a little bit of housekeeping. Some things have changed a little bit. I'm going to be actually working on changing some things. I'm going to be, what I want to do is start doing some trainings, more so than just on Thursday coming to you live for a Q&A. So I want to do a couple of trainings. So I'm working on that and working on some actual content to go with that so you guys can get going. I'm also going to be launching a 30-day Love It or Leave It program. So in essence, you get to try it for 30 days and the first section of the program, you get to try for 30 days. And if you love it, you stay in. If you don't love it, then you can opt out. But at least you get to try it for 30 days. And if not, if you love it, then you're going to stick in it, and then it's just going to be really amazing. So with that being said, there's Angie. She is here. So I am going to add Angie in. I'm going to say, please help me give her a warm welcome. Here we go. Hi, Angie. Welcome.
Hello. Thanks for having me. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm so excited that you said yes, because I know how amazing you are. And I want the ladies in the group to know how amazing you are. So you and I talked a little bit briefly before you came on tonight, and I said I had some rapid fire questions.
Yeah.
And you were brave enough to say yes. They're not invasive, but it's just kind of getting to know you as a person, because a lot of the time people lead with business and of course I'm hosting you on my platform because you are a coach, a transformational coach. You help women through a lot of emotions, and that's my platform too. And I know because you are so great at it that I wanted you to be able to share what you do. But I wanted them to get to know you as a person before we get into that. So are you ready?
Absolutely. Let's do this.
Okay, so it's a series of 9 questions because I like the number 9. So, okay. All right, so the first question is, describe yourself using 3 words.
Ooh, I am a vulnerable, passionate, and worthy woman.
I like that. Okay, so then the next thing is, what's your favorite movie ever?
Favorite movie? The one that just popped into my head is actually Dirty Dancing.
Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
Dark chocolate.
Okay. If you could have any 3 people, dead or alive, over for dinner, who would they be?
Oh my gosh. Well, there's 2 semi-famous, and it would be MLK. Dr. Martin Luther King, and then Mother Teresa, and then my grandmother. Actually, I would love to have her at my table.
I like that. Yeah. Okay, so what would you say has been your greatest accomplishment in your life?
Greatest accomplishment? I would say, honestly, learning to appreciate and love myself.
Yeah, I mean, that's so hard, right?
It really is. And I mean, we'll kind of touch into it later, but I have the degrees, I have some accolades, under my belt. I've written a few books, and those are awesome accomplishments, but I don't think I would have been able to do those without me fully appreciating and loving myself and having the confidence to do it. So it's kind of the foundation behind the action.
Okay, I like that. Okay, so now that segues into the next question. What would you say has been your greatest lesson learned?
Greatest lesson learned. It's not about me. I don't know if you want me to elaborate or not, but just essentially
Sure.
people do what they do and they behave in the way that they behave based on their own reactions and perceptions and their own truths. And so I just happen to be there, right? I happen to be the one to trigger them or whatever it was, but it has nothing to do with me. So just not taking things personal.
Good. Okay. So now next question. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Best piece of advice. This was early on, actually, in my degree program when I was getting my bachelor's. And somebody said, she sat me aside. She's like, I don't know what's going on with you. And let me like save you years of therapy. And I'm like, okay. It's like somewhere along the way, you made up that you're not worthy and that you're not good enough. She's like, so let me just tell you that you are. And it doesn't matter where that came from. Just
Mhm.
move forward with that belief. And so that was reminding myself that I am deserving and worthy of everything.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay. Name a book that you read that positively shaped you.
Oh, well, and it's actually one of the most recent ones. It's Not Your Money. I can't think of the author right now, but it really speaks into abundance, and it does relate to money as your relationship with money, but it also does support in other areas of life too.
Okay. I like that. I'm gonna have to check that book out.
It's really awesome.
Cool. And the last but not least question is, if you had a spirit animal, what would it be?
A panther.
Ooh. Can you tell me why? I'm just
Um,
kidding.
it's funny, I'm a Leo, and it's like everybody expects me to identify with lions, and I do, and I find those regal, but there's just an elegance to those panthers, right? And they're very precise and just, I don't know, they're just amazing. Like that was the first thing that popped in my head, and I have noticed that I'm attracted to them. I don't collect them or anything, but there's just something about them that really calls me to them.
I love that. Okay. Well, my favorite animal is the elephant, and as you can, I don't know if you can see it, but I have an elephant pendant on. Like elephants, my ring has elephants. I'm drawn to them because I find they have soulful eyes, and even another
Mm.
horses, the same thing. It's like you look into their eyes and you feel like they are really looking back at you, like looking deep into you, and so that's why I'm kind of drawn to both of those. So I want to say thank you so much for being gracious and answering these questions.
Oh,
You
of
know,
course.
it's nice to get to know someone personally before you dive deep into what they do professionally, because I feel like it gives a people a window into like who you are. Because a lot of the time, people when they do lead with their business, you don't really get to know them as a person, so you don't really get to know if this is really who they are. And I believe that who you are, anyways, because I know you, is really who you are when you lead with your business. It's like I think it goes right into it segues into each other. Like they feed off of each other because that's the person that you are. Like you're very heart centered. So that's why I believe why I love what you're doing, and I'm really excited for you to tell everyone. So with that said, tell us about yourself and how you got involved with what you do and why.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm going to fully date myself here. I've been in the social service, human service industry for about 20 years in different arenas, different ways, case management. And that's really where I thought I wanted to be. I've always known I wanted to support others. I just didn't know how and what the medium would be. And so that's where I started going to school, and then later that evolved into becoming a therapist. And it's funny that you would mention in terms of the business, because I even opened up a counseling center. I was so passionate about this, right? Like I wanted to help people. I'm like, okay, how can I make the bigger impact? And somewhere along the way, I lost myself in the business. I lost myself in the money making aspect of it. Well, I do think it's important, right? We get to make money. We get to have very abundant, fulfilling lives, right? I became focused on that and like almost obsessed about it. And Then I discovered personal development, and that brought me back to that heart space where it's like, no, this is not what it's about. This is not what I'm about. This is not my purpose, right? Like while I was still helping people, I was like not in the right space. And so I discovered personal development, and I started, this was about 5-6 years now. And I became a trainer and a coach. And so slowly but surely, like while I was attached to, there's different organizations out there that have like leadership trainings and big old programs, and I was a trainer in those. I started to like really dive into other types of studies, you know, like in the spiritual sense, and started to just really fuse everything that I know, and started to develop my own body of work. And even from a personal standpoint, which is funny, I used to actually shy away from women.
Okay.
I would work best with men. Like I would prefer male clients, and just because my energy matched that, right? It was like, let's get it done. Let's get it done. And you know, that accountability piece and stuff. And women intimidated me, right? Like, I'm like, no, it's just, you know, I'm not feminine enough or whatever. But through also my personal experience, and I've shared with you, and I'm pretty open about it. I went through, you know, a narcissistic relationship, a very toxic relationship. And I went through my own process of having to rediscover myself, right? And who I am. And I also learned that so many women are struggling with that, right? That there's so many women that are, you know, and men too, but primarily women, that it's just like they get stuck into these whole, you know, muddy, yucky, toxic relationships. And even when they leave, right, when they've left, there's a term that I refer to as the abusive echo, right? That echo remains. Mm-hmm. They've left that relationship, but they're still beating themselves up. You know, all the lies that were told during that relationship, they're still running them, you know, through their heads and stuff. And so I developed Soul Warriors. And that was a toxic relationship. Like it was actually like a detox, so to speak. It was a recovery program. But then the funny thing that came out of that was I started to tap into the narcissist, and they're people too, right? It's like when you start talking about the narcissist and the, you know, the supplier, however, like there's different terms, empath or whatever. It's usually narcissists are the bad guys, and they're the devil's spawn, and they're this and that, but they're hurting too, right? They became to be this person because of whatever damage and trauma they went through. Not making it okay. However, looking at them from a compassionate standpoint, that's what truly freed me from being a victim, right? Because even after you recover and you're able to say, okay, so I went through this relationship, this happened to me, you know, there's still that little level of victimy, you know, that's left behind, that residual victimhood. And I think that's where the biggest growth came for me, was in realizing that, you know what, it's like this person is hurting too, right? And I get to love them anyway, right? And by love, it doesn't mean have them in my space. It doesn't mean go back to the relationship and endure, you know, whatever it is that we were going through. It just simply means it's okay to love them from afar, which expanded my work, which is now, and it kind of goes into what I'm doing now, which is love evolution. And it's really just like understanding that love as an emotion and as an expression is one thing, right? But love as a state of being is a completely different, it's completely different, right? And we get to actually let go of those attachments and these relationships and everything that we think love is and what it's meant to be. And if we truly learn how to love ourselves, we will never be without that love.
No, I totally agree with you, because I feel like self-love really is the most important love that we can have. And you have to be able to understand that loving yourself, regardless of whether anyone else loves you, that's the most important piece and will help you through your life. And if you attach worthiness around love to other people, you often will find yourself disappointed because no one's perfect. And that's a lot of pressure to put on someone else to kind of fill that void for you. So I always feel that self-love comes from really does come from within. It doesn't come from without. And if you allow yourself to just embrace that piece and understand that just loving you, if no one else loves you, is enough.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people don't realize that. They get scared by that, saying, well, if no one else loves me, then, I'm not worth anything. Like I'm nothing. And that's not true. If you love yourself wholly and fully, that's enough. You don't need anyone else to love you. But it's a hard thing to actually wrap your head around and accept, because we've bought into that whole thing that you need a partner, that you need someone else to love you, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's your husband, your wife, whatever that is. We've bought into that, thinking that that's what's going to make us happy and that they're responsible for our happiness, but it's not, it's us, when we can fully grasp that piece. So yeah, no, I love that.
Yeah, it's shifting from the you complete me mentality to I am complete. Right. And even redefining relationships. Like often when I speak, like I refer to myself as a relationship architect, and everybody almost like is thrown immediately into the romantic, relationships, which I do coach into that. But really it's the relationship with yourself, because everything, like your ability to relate to others is based on that. I don't care if it's the exchange, that you have with the cashier at the store or your husband, right? It's still, you have that relationship in your children, and just really all these attachments and expectations that we put on them, right? And to feel complete. And no, it's, when I am showing up whole, I am showing up complete. And it's funny, it's awesome to see how people even change almost like instantly before you, when you start to show up differently, and they're like, oh, we're doing this? Okay, right? Suddenly it's like everything totally clicks. And it's not always that easy, but it's, it is a practice, and that's where the coaching piece comes in, right? Because I think some people think, oh, I read the book, or I've, learned a few things here and there, but then it's the application into their life and how that works, and just the practice of these tools. It's a muscle to work out.
So have you found now that you're leaning into this this new piece of love evolution, are you going to work more with people who are together? Like, are you going to work with couples? Or are you going to work with individuals, women, men? Have you decided like what you're going to do?
Yes, actually, I want to work with everyone, right? So it is individuals, because again, relationship doesn't mean coupled. It means, for me, it's that relationship with yourself. And something that I've also discovered over the years is people have lost that zest for life. They just kind of get very ho-hum, right? And again, dating myself, like, my children are in teenage years and they're starting to leave the home. As I mentioned, it's like I went through a pretty bad divorce and stuff like that. So it's like rediscovering myself, right? And who I am right now. That's huge, right? It was a huge thing for me. And that's where I'm supporting others in trying to just rediscover who they are and just rediscover that passion for life while loving themselves, right? Because I think that's the missing component. It's just like choosing love. As I mentioned with my ex, I love him. Doesn't mean he has to be by my side, but I love him. And that love fulfills me. It's generated from me, right? And I get to love my kids and myself and everybody, right? And just that's kind of like for me, that's the foundation of it all, of any relationship.
No, I agree. So to segue into that, can you tell us what you've got going on? Because I know you talked a little bit about it, and I would really love for for my audience here to really hear about it, because this is something that would probably be something great for them to even think about getting into.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Yes, thank you. So Love Evolution is the newest course that I've developed. It's a 6-week online course. With that, I already have some pre-recorded, right, like lessons, or I don't know what to call them yet, but so where I'm just giving them, you know, the structure, right, of what we're going to talk about, and also some worksheets. And then we're going to have weekly coaching calls as a group, where we're going to go over, because it's like, we're going to go through the lesson. They're going to have these tools that I told you, and then they're going to get to like go practice them. It's like, it's immediate. Like they can just turn around and look themselves in the mirror, or journal something, or say something to someone, depending on the lesson. And it's very interactive in that way. And it's very self-paced. And it starts as a progression, right? So it's like, I'm going to give you the basics. And so we're all speaking the same language. So that way everybody understands what I mean when I say relationship, what I mean when I say love, those kinds of things. And then we're going to go through some belief systems that we've, you know, been programmed with. And so we're going to burst through those. And then eventually we're going to start to really work and get down and dirty on loving yourself and evolving love as we know it, right? And not having it be an external emotion, something that we're receiving. It's something that can be reciprocal and regenerative, and you can have it. And as you mentioned earlier, it's like I can wake up in the morning and love myself and know that I'm fully complete, right, without having a partner. But if I do have a partner by my side, they enhance that experience, but they don't make that experience for me.
Right. No, that's great. No, I appreciate that. So definitely, I think I would love to be able to post that, the link in the group for your upcoming workshop. I think, as I said, I believe that some of the ladies in the group may, I think it'd be great for them to check it out, because as I said, I really do feel that you bring a lot of value. And yes, I am a coach, and yes, I am around emotions, but I do feel like I will only promote someone who I feel really can hit the mark and can help, you know, whomever, like is in my group, whether, you know, exactly. Because, you know, I want to work with a lot of people myself, and I always believe that I can't work with everyone, and nor do I want to, and because then I would not have a life. But I want to serve as best I can, and this piece to me is serving by bringing people like you into the group to show them that what's out there and what's possible. And you know, if it's not working, doing something directly with me, it's if I can provide other platforms to help them as well through their emotions. That's you know, I want to bring people that I know, like, and trust, and that is all really where it begins, right? Knowing and liking and trusting someone, and that's also how I am as well. So, how can people reach you?
Well, and actually, before we do that, I did want to say, and I do want to acknowledge you. So that is one of the things that I really liked and attracted me to you, and really started that foundation of the friendship that we now have, was the fact that you have that open mentality, right? And it's not a scarcity one. It's like, you know what? You know what your forte is, your niche, and you know what mine is, and we can still work together, right? And we've collaborated together before, and that's the awesome thing. And I really appreciate that. And so thank you for that.
You're welcome, of course.
Having said that, what I'm going to do is the course itself. Right now, I'm running this special. It's $297, and so I'll actually make it $247 for anybody who's in your group. So what they'll have to do is actually contact me directly through Facebook. I did the entire the course is on Facebook. I figured that was the biggest, like, easiest way to streamline everything. So to purchase the tickets, you have to go through an event page to, you know, on Facebook, and then I will send you to a private group on Facebook, and everything is going to be loaded up there. So that way, you know, no fuss, no muss. There's like no having to remember all kinds of passwords and stuff. However, with this special, I had not thought of it until just now. So what you all can do if you're interested in taking my course, or if you have any questions, you can just send me a message. Either my personal page is Angie Amico, or Life Changing Solutions, either one, and just say that you saw us here, or, you know, or that Leslie sent you, and I'll go ahead and honor that, and I'll create a link so that you can purchase the tickets at $50 off. So $249 for the 6-week course.
Okay. And is there do you have a time frame?
Yes, sorry. So see, that's the one thing. I joke. I joke because actually I started working with a marketing coach, which you and I need to talk later, because I'm like, we all need that help, right? We need that extra boost. And when it comes to marketing, I'm like, eh. So yeah, we all need that support in different ways. But thank you for catching that.
Of course. Got your back, girl.
I forgot what it is that you said.
So is there a time limit for this offer?
Yes. So yes, the offer itself, I will go ahead and honor it. It's already like the course is gonna, start February 5th. Okay. So it's already around the corner. So I don't want to, really cut everybody off right so soon. So I'll go ahead and honor it all the way up to February 5th. Okay. And if they want to take the course after that, because I do intend on, making this an ongoing course, then they will have to pay the full price.
Okay, awesome. I have to say this has been wonderful having you on. Yeah, this is great. I miss you. We haven't seen each other, it's like we used to see each other more, and we have to get back to our weekly calls, by the way.
Yes, yes, we do. Definitely.
But yeah, no, I'm really glad that you're on. I'm really glad that things are going well for you. I'm excited for this love evolution that you've got going on. I know that people are going to really benefit from taking this course. So I encourage guys, if you are, like I said, I have no issue with somebody going and taking a look at Angie's course and going through it, because I feel that you can offer a lot of value to them, and I'm here too. So it's not like I don't feel like, oh my gosh, she's going to take people. No, that's not me. We've had this relationship for a long time, and we know that if somebody fits me from you, you're sending them my way, and vice versa. And to me, it's like, I can't work with everyone. I love to be able to touch on everyone, many people as I can, work with those that I can, and transform those lives. And whoever I cannot, as long as I have someone in my pocket that I know, like, and trust, that I can forward those people on to, that's what's important to me. And you are one of those people. So that's why you are on here tonight.
Oh, thank you again. And see, and just another way to look at it, and the way that I think of it is, think of it as a doctor, right? Because I do know that you have a very loyal following. And so, yeah, I'm definitely not trying to infiltrate and take and steal. It's like there's more than enough, right?
Absolutely.
And so the way that I look at it is like, you have different types of physicians, of doctors, right, with different types of practices. So you have a cardiologist, you have a podiatrist, pediatrician, so on and so forth. And so it's like, that's what we do, right, is that we refer internally and to somebody that we definitely trust. And that's the thing. It's like, you can come work with me, and then to handle like relationship stuff. And then if you want to come back to Leslie and just, do your thing with her, like that's, or simultaneously, like there's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. No, I agree. Absolutely. Well, it's been wonderful having you on. I appreciate it. So yeah, I'll make sure that I post your, at least your Facebook link in the group within this video, so they at least can just click on their direct message, go to your Facebook page, or they know your name. They can just click on your name. It's going to, just contact Angie, and they can just click on your name and go and DM you, and you can send them the link. But definitely, I'll post. Definitely, I really encourage you just to take a look. You don't want to miss out on something. If you need this, don't say no because you're worried about hurting my feelings, because you're not. Feelings are important to me. So if this is going to be what you need, then this is what you need to do. So, and I have no problem with it at all. So with that being said, thank you so much for coming on. I hope, what time is it there now? It is your 9 o'clock?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I love it that you're only a couple hours, not like 3 hours ahead, because you've got kids still that are young and in school, and tomorrow's Friday, but that's okay.
Right. No, they're fine.
But still.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. And I appreciate it. Thank you so much. for having me on. Sidebar, love the hair. I think it's fabulous.
I've been trying to figure out what to do with this hair, cut it. I don't know. It's in debate.
Right, but I like it. I think it's cute.
Thank you.
Yes, again, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, you having me on. And, you know, hopefully I did offer some value to your members, yep. Regardless if they sign up or not. Like, I just always like to be of service.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, girls. So everyone, thanks so much for coming on and listening. Again, check Angie out. You have nothing to lose, but you've got a lot to gain. Okay, if you check her out. And on that note, I'm going to end the broadcast, guys. I will see you next Thursday. All right. Or actually, maybe next Tuesday, because as I said, there was some housekeeping. I'm thinking about doing some trainings throughout the week, and I'm not quite sure yet how that's going to work. And as I told you, I've got my 30-day Love It or Leave It coming up. So there'll be more on that, but I hope you guys have a great evening, and thank you to our guest, and I hope you all have a great evening. So I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now, guys.
Bye.